If you're that killer, are you a good person? No. But are you impressive? Yes. Hello everyone, I am Brandon Lorick.
I'm Keith Millender.
And this is Tank Media Network.
Yes.
Our top stories today. Convoy of raccoons.
What if we did? What if we turned the show into just Tank Media Network with fake news like that that's completely outlandish?
We could do that, or we could be real anchors. I applied for a position at a local news organization to be an anchor.
I can't imagine. No offense, Brennan, but having no experience in that, I can't imagine you're called back.
Most actors do that. That's like most weathermen are just, they're not people who studied weather. They're people who want to be actors. That's a real thing.
But they don't have to be meteorologists?
They just go, they're like, hey, can you do weather? And they go over there and go, boop, boop, boop. And they're like, oh, it looks like some stuff's heading this way.
Huh.
I might even tell them.
I didn't mean for that to sound like you're not qualified.
Well, that's just like anchors. All they do is read the news. They don't go out there and research it.
I'm just saying, it seems like you just went straight for the jugular rather than like starting in the organization, moving up.
See, if you're a reporter, I feel like that would have been stupid for me to go and do that. But I feel like anchor, you don't work your way up to that. You just do that.
Not according to Bruce Almighty, sir. And that is where I will leave this conversation.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I believe you. I hope you get the job. Maybe you'll see Brandon on your local news.
Maybe.
Maybe not. Who knows?
I don't know. Massachusetts.
Oh, don't do that. It'll be really hard to make these videos if you have a paid job.
Making that Massachusetts money.
That Massachusetts cheddar is what they call it. What are we doing this week, Brandon?
Keith, this week we are doing our annual Persons of the Year video.
Yes. Every year on this approximate date.
Yes. We give you our list because a lot of people look back in 2017 and they think it was a horrible year. They think that nothing good came from it. Well, guess what? We disagree.
Always we disagree because if it's a year you're alive, it's a year that good things have happened.
That's a t-shirt quote.
Unless you are a serial killer. Then, if it was the year you were alive, it was likely a worse year for the world than if you had not been.
But for you, got on a roll.
That's true.
So.
Yeah, I don't want to continue praising the serial killers.
I'm not saying they need to keep doing it. I'm just saying that
from their perspective.
Yes.
From their perspective, it was a good year.
If you were a person that was, I don't know, like if you were beating people to death with a microwave. Is it bad that you're killing people?
Yes.
Yes. Is it impressive that somehow you're concealing a microwave and being able to sneak up on people? Like if you could break in a house, you're outside, you're stalking people the whole time. You're holding your microwave, thinking, "Is tonight the night?" And somehow that's even worse. I was thinking it's not even plugged in.
Oh no! In my thing, there's a generator.
If
he's dragging a
that's
generator
even more impressive. If you're that killer, are you a good person? No. But are you impressive? Yes.
And that's where we stand on serial killers here at Tank Media Network.
But
all joking aside,
we're going to talk about some people who aren't serial killers.
Hopefully.
Keith and I have both chosen our person of the year, but we also reached out to two of our friends to give their choices for person of the year. So our first person will be Paige Cole, and then the second person you see will be Michael Logston. So enjoy these two cool people.
My person of the year is Millie Bobby Brown, known and notable for playing Eleven on the popular series Stranger Things. This year, she was in Stranger Things Season 2, and what I really loved about her is how wonderfully dramatic she is at such a young age. One thing I think is very difficult as an actor or actress is the ability to cry on film, but to cry realistically and to cry disgustingly. And I think it's really cool during the scenes where she gets incredibly angry, where she starts crying and she starts sobbing and she's so angry. And I thought that it was very, very talented of her at such a young age to be able to procure such tears. I also think she's become recently a very famous stylish and fashion icon. And she also is really funny and has the most adorable British accent, even though in Stranger Things she actually has an American accent. And that is why I think Millie Bobby Brown should be chosen as Person of the Year.
So my person that I chose for Person of the Year is Martin Luther, and I think he's a really important person in light of the 500th anniversary of the Protestant Reformation, which he started when he nailed the 95 Theses to the door of the Catholic Church in Wittenberg, Germany, on October 31st, 1517. So I've got 3 different reasons why I selected him. The first one is that he paved the road for the gospel to be experienced by lower classes as opposed to just exclusively the rich and the upper people in society. The second reason is that he encouraged a deep study of the Bible and an ability for many people to be able to learn more about it and better understand what it means, as opposed to just accepting what one person says its meaning is. And then my third, and I think this is probably the most important reason that he gets Person of the Year for me, is that he reintroduced the church to a gospel that's built on faith rather than works and rather than what they can do to be saved. And that's something that stood really strongly for the past 500 years, and hopefully for 500 plus years more in the future. So Martin Luther is my person.
Wasn't that exciting,
Yeah,
Keith?
it was exciting. They made horrible choices. No, their choices were fine.
Do you remember their choices?
I remember that Michael Logston was caught between 2.
That's true.
That made a lot of sense. And I remember Paige struggling with the question, based on you telling me how it went. But I'm sure they did decide.
I feel like it's a hard decision when you think, because I think there's a lot of things that go into a Person of the Year, because you have to think. Just like last year's our list, there was people that we chose it because we love them. There was others that chose it and said, I don't necessarily love them, but they've impacted the world the most.
Exactly.
So,
or you could just be like me, make it easy for yourself, and pick the same ones.
Well, Keith, tell us who your people are.
Okay, I feel bad for doing this, but again, I don't.
If I was editing this video, I would.
Lies.
But sadly,
I
do not edit.
I just don't want it to. I don't want it to seem like I'm being lazy. But I will genuinely again give my nomination for Person of the Year to Rhett and Link. It's every year since I don't know when I started watching their stuff. It's like in 2015 maybe.
I believe so. This will be the 3rd annual year.
Yes.
The first year we did on the podcast. Last year we did a blog
That's why
post.
I keep forgetting that I've done it twice. This is the first video form where I've nominated them. But I started watching them in 2015, and ever since then, I think the main thing is that I feel like you and I are very similar to them. And so it's cool to watch them do things that I look forward to us maybe one day being able to do, that I wish that we could do. And I feel like their ideology and the way they look at things is very similar to ours. They are both from the South. So I resonate with them a great deal. But this year, again, they were moving and shaking. They changed up their format to their show that already had 1,000 episodes. That was definitely a risk. And they're still, it's definitely, I'm sure, probably paying off financially because there's greater ad revenue. But there was some backlash in the comments and among the fans or whatever. So they're navigating that. I went to see them live. That was a cool thing. They wrote a book this year. I read the book. It was very good. I saw them live. Lizzie and I went there, and it was a very long trip to get to Durham, North Carolina, but it was their last show, and that was very cool. Mia, that's ridiculous.
She is disagreeing.
Yeah, Mia is disagreeing with this choice. But what else? This year they started a thing on they spin a wheel at the end of every show, and this year they started doing one where if it lands on one section, they give $1,000 to a charity. So they've been giving away a lot of stuff, especially when like big charities and big events on YouTube come up. They tend to give a lot. Not that you can measure your goodness by how much you give, but they've just been doing a lot of stuff. And they came out with the 2nd season of Buddy System. So I would call I'm a pretty big fan of theirs. Not just because I want to be a fanboy, but I'm impressed with the work they do, and with the way that they're able to maintain their value. Man, that's ridiculous. Golly, I'm getting frustrated with my dog. Anyway, the way they're able to maintain their mission of like it's intended to be something anybody can watch. Even in the current YouTube climate, which is honestly, there's a lot of garbage up on here.
Yes.
It seems like if you got to be successful, you got to sell your soul to the devil. But they kind of maintain the way they do things. I'm impressed by that and the work they do. So I will nominate them again.
Well, my nomination is going to go to leader of a nation. He goes by Junebug.
Junior Nation.
You may have heard Dale around.
Dale, yeah.
He is the 15-time most popular driver, 2-time Xfinity, what was the Busch Series champion.
Right.
And he's just a all-around good guy. Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Dale Jr.
It was his last year this year, Keith, and to see every racetrack that he went to, they gave him prizes. Talladega gave him his father's championship-winning car.
Oh boy.
Other people gave him horses. Other people gave him. Donald Trump gave him the keys to the country, and Junior said, "No, got my own nation."
He drove up to 1200 Pennsylvania Avenue.
Mm-hmm. And Trump said, "Please take this nation." Junior said, "No, man."
He squealed in there in his Monte Carlo. He doesn't drive that anymore. That's his dad drove that.
Mm-hmm.
But he did get it, you said, so he could have driven it.
Mm-hmm. But I just I felt like he's always impressed me with. I feel like on the driving side, because I feel like when you're someone who has that shadow, like when your father is the greatest. A lot of people say the greatest to ever do something. Then it's going to be pretty hard to do that same thing and ever be seen as your own person.
Definitely.
But I feel like he's, like when he first started, he had a lot of his dad's fans. But I feel like now he's got a lot of people that are they're Dale Jr. fans. Like they might not like his father, or might have not followed NASCAR when his father was around.
Brennan, there's a list with 4 names on it. Impossible that it's more than that of people who don't like Dale Earnhardt. There can be no more than 4. So those 4 people maybe didn't like this.
But even like much like his father, he's done a lot of stuff outside of racing with his own media company. He produces stuff. Mm-hmm. Him and his wife have a new show they're going to be doing where they're going to remodel houses.
Cool.
So I feel like just all around, Dale Jr. is just a cool dude.
He's a cool guy, and I grew up drinking Diet Mountain Dew, so he's got my vote.
I grew up drinking Exalted Paint.
Is that what you did? Okay. So Dale Jr., Rhett and Link, and do you remember what they landed on so I can say it?
Yes, Paige landed on the actress that plays 11 off of Stranger Things.
Millie Bobby Brown.
The name. And then Michael Logston landed on Martin Luther.
Martin Luther, who lived this year.
It was the anniversary of that 95.
Right.
Thesis.
So that's a good loophole to bring Martin Luther in, and I'll take that. I don't mean to poke fun, and I didn't mean to poke fun earlier, but I just don't.
Michael Logston might boycott Tank Media now.
Well, when you told me about what their decisions earlier, they had not landed on one yet.
Yes.
And so all I knew was that it took some helping Paige to narrow them down because she had so many.
Yeah.
As well as Michael Logston choosing one out of these categories. Both kind of formed out of loopholes.
But that does it for us. So if you like our choices, you can like and share this. If you disagree, you should leave a comment and tell us your choice for person or people of the year of 2017.
And if you have any idea what my dog could be barking at, please comment that and tell her to be quiet in the comments next time. You can't make her be quiet retroactively. But yeah, hope you also voted in the Tankies. Is voting still open for that? How long is voting open?
I think it closed yesterday.
Okay, that works. Voting will have closed yesterday for the Tankies, so stay tuned for that awards program for our nominees of the best things that we did. But yeah, Persons of the Year. Thank you for watching. Brandon, send us away. You already kind of sent us away. That's all you need to hear. We'll see you next time. Remember to like, comment, subscribe on our vids. Bye.